Those desirous of meeting me in Bahrain should come on the 24th of May, the Friday. We decided to do an event there because we had covered all Gulf countries and missed out only on Bahrain. Even during my long stay in Dammam, I had never made it across the causeway to Bahrain. So we decided that we'll visit Bahrain. I hope to see you in Bahrain on the 24th of May, the Friday. If you'd like to meet me, kindly message us to the WhatsApp number given below or drop a mail to the email ID given below. Once again, I thank you for your support.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Before I get into the main topic about the Japanese yen, which I want to discuss today, I thought I'd briefly talk about what's happening. First off is about ICICI Securities delisting concerns. Minority shareholders led by Manu Rishi Gupta have filed class action lawsuit against ICICI Securities with the NCLT. And main reason is that they feel they're being shortchanged and the evaluations, whatever they're looking at, is not right and it's not fair. That small investors are being cheated out of what they rightfully deserve because they feel the current market scenario where the bull run is going where the way it's going, whatever ICICI Bank is offering is not right. And this is what's the main pretext of it. And they're also alleging that ICICI Bank has been calling up investors and influencing them into voting for this. So they feel even there's been swaying being done by the ICICI Bank. So we have to wait and watch what happens there. Meanwhile, Tata Steel CEO has come out saying there are concerns about rising fuel imports in India and saying it needs to be watchful of this. It's hurting the steel industry in India and especially hurting Tata Steel, that is. And anticipation growth, what they've had for this coming year, seems to be dampened because of this dumping of steel from China. So this is something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Tata and Chairman Chandrasekhar had a 500 top wigs of Tata Group across Tata Group come and meet their annual meet in Dubai, where even Neo Tata and his children attended the meeting. The main discussion was how to keep growth in across Tata and across the companies. Focus should be on growth and it should come in leaps and bounds. The inner news is because it's a closed meeting. News is not shared publicly, but from whatever people could understand and discern from the news, whatever trickled out, is that Chandrasekhar set aggressive targets for all of his company across the Tata board in his second tenure as chairman, and he expects more from all these guys. So, if you look at it, Tata Group's performance in the stock market has been quite remarkable. 27 listed firms collectively have added over 1 crore in market capitalization, totaling over to 30.45 lakh crore. That's a 42% increase compared to the Nifty gain is only at 26. So if you've just been investing in the Tata companies alone and you've been focused only in the Tata brands, you should have gained quite handsomely even compared to the index. Then, as far as MDH is concerned, they have come back hitting hard, refuting all kinds of claims being thrown against them in their spice and what they're exporting, especially against the allegations coming from Hong Kong and Singapore that they do not use ethyl oxide and that kind of cancer causing pesticide is not used by them, and there's something wrong in whatever information is being reported. We'll have to wait and watch to see what happens. Do realize India is one of the world's largest spice exporters, and MDH is one of the largest companies in that sector exporting. So, this is of interest for people in that industry or invest in that industry. This is something to watch and definitely keep an eye on. Meanwhile, RBI in April 16th came out again with two draft circulars proposing significant changes to the operation of payment aggregators in India, like Razorpay and all that. Payment aggregators are guys who facilitate payment between the merchant and the bank. So, like your Razorpay, they act as intermediaries, then take care of all the back end. So they make a little bit of money on it. What RBI has mandated is before you onboard any new merchants onto your platform, that's like Razorpay, make sure you've done KYC and do physical KYC and do not onboard just on digital KYC, which is going to hurt these guys because that means they need to have more people on the foot hitting and checking these merchant places and locations and ensuring that KYC is accurate and it meets the standards which RBI has set. This is mainly to prevent any kind of fraud and to prevent any kind of money laundering and any nefarious activities using these aggregators to prevent that. Makes sense, but it's going to definitely hurt these guys in these kind of tough situations as it is. It's going to hurt them more. as it is, credit card companies are trying to wise up more and more to this way customers are using different loopholes. Like recently, IDFC Bank and S Bank have said if you're planning to pay utility bills through their credit cards, they'll be forking over a 1% fee. They've said if your transaction is below a certain amount, depending on your card and your bracket, they will not charge you that 1% fee. If you are above that bracket, then you'll be charged a 1% fee. This is mainly to prevent. They don't want people to use their credit cards for other purposes than what it's meant for, which is, let's say you have a personal electricity power bill or utility bill of your personal nature. They don't mind you paying it or using it, using those privileges of discount. But if you have a business and you're trying to fork it into that and take a discount through this, they want to prevent those loopholes. It's one other way these credit card companies are clamping down on abuse and usage. Now, the main news of the day is the yen. The yen, initially, when markets opened in Asia, dropped to 160 the yen to a dollar, which is a 34-year-old low, and within 50 minutes it bounced back Monday afternoon, that is in Asia, to settle at 155.2 yen to a dollar. The sudden rebound triggered speculation that the Japanese authorities have intervened to support the currency. There is no news from the Japanese government, but traders in Hong Kong are saying it's highly likely the Japanese government has stepped in and intervened and supported the currency. But there's no solid evidence which is immediately available. We'll have to wait and watch over the next few days to see what comes out. Because as the yen slid past $160, it sparked expectation of an intervention, leading some investors to unwind their bets against the yen. And we did see this bounce back happening. The Japanese authorities have been warning, especially coming out of Tokyo in the weeks, saying there's a potential support for the yen in case the volatility in trade is there. Meaning the Japanese did say if they do see an extreme volatility in the yen, they would definitely extend support. And even the Bank of Japan governor has indicated possible action if the weak yen's impact grew too large, meaning if the weakening yen creates a larger problem for people in Japan, he would definitely step in and do something. And the reasons for this contributing factors for this weakening yen is it has lost 11% against the dollar since 2024. And there's a huge interest cap, rate cap between the Japanese and the Americans. The Americans are at a very high interest level, while the Japanese are near zero, has contributed to this weakening. What's been happening is something known as the yen carry trade, where investors borrow in yen, the Japanese yen, and then take that fund and fund it into high yielding assets. So basically, take Japanese money, take it across over to US and invest it in the US, because US is right now offering very high interest rates compared to Japan. So what's happening is funds are being pulled out of Japan and they're making their way to across to US, which is yielding much higher interest rates. So potential intervention may be holding the yen about 155, but will require continuous intervention. Bank of America has come out saying if Japan would like to keep yen at 155 or higher, they will have to definitely extend their support and intervention continuously, which the Japanese government intervention may not be able to do, because the intervention which they did in 2022, a large intervention that amounted to $62 billion. So this is something to keep in mind. While this kind of limited intervention has very limited effects too, because this kind of limited intervention will not be able to hold the currency strong, and it will continue sliding again after the intervention effects wear off. So we have to wait and watch to see what happens in the US policy coming week, and the data coming from US will give us more information on how we can expect this volatility in the yen to play out. So what does it mean when this kind of volatility happens to the yen? Well, when yen becomes this volatile, what happens is companies which are exporting out of Japan or earning outside Japan, most of the Japanese company, if their revenue is outside Japan, then their earnings go up and their books look much better. So that is one reason why a weak yen can help. The other reason a weak yen can help is inbound tourism which comes to Japan. Japan now has opened up for tourism again, and the country is open, and they've been inviting tourism, has been on a huge uptick in Japan, and has been creating other problems for the Japanese people. But one area where it doesn't create problem is in currency inflow into Japan. And as yen becomes cheaper, it becomes cheaper to visit Japan, and tourists are flocking because of the low yen. But where the pain is really felt is by the local Japanese. The domestic consumption and spending will take a real hit, because living costs will go up and also imports will go up. all the things Japanese do like and import will also become more costly. So this is the impact of the Japanese yen, and this will also have a wider range impact on the Japanese company, then of course the Japanese index and the stocks. So this is a way you need to keep an eye on the Japanese yen and the relationship it shares with the American interest rates. This is how it's all connected together if you look at it. Thanks for watching the video today. I hope you found it informative and entertaining as always, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.